Hi, my name is Sophia Hartenbaum, and I'm a psychology major, and my thesis was called Individual Differences in Awe, Factors and Predictors. And this is my complete poster for my study, but I'm just going to go over a quick overview. And so to begin, I'd like you to just first try and get your bearings and imagine what awe feels like to you and how you might describe it. For example, think about like if you're this person looking out over the Grand Canyon and feeling awe. And to think about the kinds of emotions and sensations and perceptions and all these other parts of this experience that you might describe and feel. In short, that's really what my study was about, was just trying to answer what does awe feel like to different people. And more specifically, one of my main goals was to identify the factors of awe and unify separate lines of research on awe. And then I also wanted to look at how individual difference variables might relate to these factors. And so my independent variables were need for closure, which is a desire for clear-cut answers and certainty. And this has been found to be negatively related to the tendency to experience awe. And then also I looked at avoided negative affect, which is the desire to avoid feeling negative emotions. And past research has found that this is negatively related to the tendency to recognize and recall emotionally negative stimuli. My dependent variables for this study were the level of negative emotion present during the awe experience that participants reported, and also the simplicity of the awe experience, which I defined as kind of the absence of paradoxical elements existing at the same time during the awe experience. And so for my hypotheses, I predicted that a greater degree of avoided negative affect would be negatively related to negative emotion and positively related to simplicity of the awe experience. I also predicted that a higher degree of need for closure would predict a higher simplicity score for the awe experience. And then to test these hypotheses and whatnot, I created an online Qualtrics survey and had 156 participants answer a list of measures, including the Affect Valuation Index to measure avoided negative affect, and the shortened need for closure scale to measure need for closure. And then for the awe experience survey, I took lots of items from various past studies on awe and compiled them. And then I asked participants to first recall a single personal awe experience, to write 3 to 5 sentences about it, and then to rate the degree to which they felt each item was present during their awe experience when I showed them a list of items. And in terms of the results, I identified 6 factors of the awe experience with exploratory factor analysis. And these 6 factors were negative emotion, understanding, expansion of time and senses, absorption, smallness, and beyond the ordinary. And in terms of testing my hypotheses, I did find that, as predicted, a greater amount of avoided negative affect was negatively related to negative emotion during the awe experience. And also more avoided negative affect was positively related to simplicity of the awe experience. But I didn't find any significant relationship between need for closure and simplicity of the awe experience. So in conclusion, it seemed like individual differences in emotional goals, such as the desire to avoid feeling negative, might be more important than cognitive variables like need for closure in understanding how people make sense of awe experiences. And moving forward after this thesis, I'd also like to look more into how culture, such as religion, might impact awe. And then also I'm continuing to work on understanding how individual and cross-cultural differences might relate to pro-environmental behavior. Thank you so much.